Hare Krishna. We are continuing to read from teachings of Queen Kunti. We are on prayer number 24, which is in Srimad Bhagavatam 1.8.41. O Lord of the universe, soul of the universe, O personality of the form of the universe, please therefore sever my tie of affection for my kinsmen, the Pandavas and the Rishnis. Prayer is entitled Cutting Off Ties of Affection, where Kunti Maharani, she recognizes that I'm so attached to my parents' family, to my husband's family. So she's saying, my dear Krishna, please cut my attachment to my family, and let my attachment be only to you, my dear Krishna. I don't want any other attachment. So we continue reading from Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. One may go to hell, one may go to heaven, or one may go back home, back to Godhead, as one likes. So here, because Krishna says, Yanti Deva Pitran Devan, he's saying, where do you want to go? Whoever you worship, you're going to go there in the next life. So the choice is ours. Where do I want to go in the next life? But Krishna is saying, we have a choice. Do we want to go to heaven, where we can enjoy heavenly pleasures? We want to go to hellish planets. Pitraloka is one of the hellish planets, actually. Pitraloka is one of the hellish planets, imagine. And then we can also go back home, back to Godhead. Therefore, an intelligent person should think, if I have to prepare for my next life, why not prepare to go back home, back to Godhead? One's present body will be finished, and then one will have to accept another body. What kind of body one will accept is stated in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 14, text 18. Urdhvam gachanti sattvastaha. Those who are in the mode of goodness, avoiding the four principles of sinful life, will live their next life on a higher planetary system. So one may say, I'm in the mode of goodness. I don't do any illicit activity. I'm not doing anything sinful. But what's that going to do? It's just going to bring me up to the heavenly planet. Of course, we should come to the point of goodness. We need to raise ourselves to the mode of goodness. But we also need to engage in bhakti, because only the mode of goodness still keeps us here in the material world. Even if one does not become a pure devotee of the Lord, if one follows the four regulative principles for avoiding sinful life, one will remain in goodness and get this opportunity. Human life is meant for this purpose, but if we waste our life just living like cats and dogs, eating, sleeping, mating, and defending, then we will lose this opportunity. So human life, because it's a life of responsibility, there are certain do's and don'ts which we need to follow. But what we are doing is I don't care, I'm independent, I'm not going to follow any rules and regulations. Then what are we doing? We are leading animalistic lives. We are behaving like animals. And that's the reason the current affairs of the society is in the way that it is, because of our consciousness. So we need to raise our consciousness. Come to the human platform. Athato Brahma Jigyasa. Bhagavatam says, the scriptures say, until one inquires unto the absolute truth, one is not even a human being. Athato Brahma Jigyasa. Let me try to understand the absolute truth. The inquiry into the absolute truth. That is the beginning of human life. Rascals, however, do not know this. They do not believe that there is a next life. There are many people, they say, so what, after I give up the body, what does it matter anyway? I don't exist anymore. Everything is finished when the body is finished. But this is what we are not able to understand, that we are not the body, we are the soul. The body is material, the soul is spiritual. The soul is eternal. In Russia, a Professor Kotovsky told me, Swamiji, after this body is finished, everything is finished. He's a big professor. Yet he said that Such men may pose as scientists and philosophers, but actually they have no knowledge and they simply mislead others. So imagine when the people in positions of power, because they don't have proper knowledge, and when we follow them, what happens? They are misguided. And if we follow them, we are going to be equally misguided. So we should be very careful. Who do we follow? This is our greatest source of grief, and therefore I have requested the members of the Krishna consciousness movement to challenge and defeat these rascals who are misleading the entire human society. People should not think that the devotees of Krishna are mere sentimentalists. On the contrary, the devotees are the greatest philosophers and the greatest scientists. So it's not that the devotees are just simply chanting and dancing and there's no philosophy. No, that in fact, the Krishna consciousness movement is based completely on the principles of religion, based on completely on the highest philosophy, completely based on the principles of Srimad Bhagavatam, on the principles of Bhagavad Gita. So it's not merely sentimentalism. Krishna has two engagements, paritranaya sadhuna vinashaya chadushkritam, giving protection to the sadhus, the devotees, and killing the demons. Krishna gave protection to the Pandavas and Rishnis because they were devotees. He also killed demons like Kams, Aghasur, and Bakasur. Of the two engagements, his killing of the demons was his major occupation. If we examine how much time he devoted to killing and how much time he devoted to protecting, we shall find that he devoted more time to killing. Similarly, those who are Krishna conscious should also kill, not by weapons, but by logic, by reasoning, and by education. If one is a demon, we can use logic and arguments to kill his demoniac propensities and turn him into a devotee, a saintly person. Especially in this present age, Kali Yuga, people are already poverty-stricken and physical killing is too much for them. They should be killed by argument, reasoning, and scientific spiritual understanding. So we can see here the mood of Srila Prabhupada, how he's following in the mood of Lord Chaitanya. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he gave us the chanting of the holy name to kill our demoniac tendencies. He did not he did not say that for perfection you have to be qualified. It's only for certain people born in a certain community or a certain country or certain qualification. No, he said it's for everyone, anyone, without any qualification. And so that's the reason he gave us the Hare Krishna mantra, to kill the demon inside us, to kill the demoniac tendencies in us. And Srila Prabhupada, following in the mood of Lord Chaitanya, he is encouraging everyone to take up this Krishna consciousness movement so that we can kill the demoniac tendencies in our heart by chanting the Hare Krishna mantra. We can see how compassionate Srila Prabhupada is, how much he loves everyone. Because of his love for everyone, he wants each of us to revive our love for Krishna, to go back home, back to Godhead. He's saying we should use logic and argument so we can help everyone else to kill our demoniac tendencies. It is not a matter of criticism, or it's not a matter of discrimination. It is a matter of love to make person, to bring everyone to the platform of love of God. Love of God. So it arises not out of envy, but out of love. Kunti addresses Krishna as Vishvesha, the Lord of the universe. Vishva means universe and Isha means Lord or controller. The universal affairs are going on so nicely with the sun rising just on time, the seasons changing, and the seasonal fruits and flowers making their appearance. Thus, there is no mismanagement. But how are these things going on so nicely if there's no controller? So Kunti Maharani, she's calling Krishna as Lord of the universe. Jagannath is another name. Jagannath, Lord of the universe. Vishwa Isha, controller. Then Lord Chaitanya's name was Vishwambar, one who maintains the entire universe. Because who is maintaining the universe? We are very nicely sitting comfortably. Whatever resources are there, we are using it for ourselves. But who is the one who's providing it? Who's the one who's making sure sun is rising on time, setting on time? Who is making sure the oceans are being full, the photosynthesis is going on? Who's that? So, of course, there is a controller. And it's a sign of intelligence if we can try to ask the question, who's the one who's controlling? That is the sign of intelligence. So if we see any establishment going on very well, we immediately understand that the manager, director, or controller of the institution is expert. I don't know if you'll have seen, if you go to a company where everything is very chaotic, means the supervisor there or the leader there is not a very organized person. But if everyone is working efficiently, there is no chaos, everyone knows what they have to do, we can understand this is a very good sign of good management, expert management. Similarly, if we see the universal affairs going on nicely, we must know that behind them is a good controller. And who is that controller? So who is that controller? Is the controller you? Is it that you are telling the sun every day, rise on time and set on time? Or is it me? Is it because of me the sun is rising and setting at the proper time? The seasons are changing. Is it? Who is the one who's managing this universe? That controller is Krishna. As stated in Bhagavad Gita, Mayadhyakshena prakritihi suyate sa characharam. Therefore, Kunti addresses him as Vishvavesha, Vishvesha, the controller of the universe. People are interested only in pictures of Krishna embracing Radharani that depict the dealings of Radha and Krishna to be like those of ordinary boys and girls. They don't understand Krishna. Such obnoxious pictures should be avoided. I don't know if you'll have seen, anyone makes up any kind of picture saying this is Radha and Krishna, where there is no way that is Radha and Krishna. But many people out of imagination just produce such kind of pictures. Prabhupada is calling that these are obnoxious and should be avoided. Radha and Krishna are not ordinary young boy and girl. Krishna is the supreme controller. So Krishna is, because of the fear of Krishna, the sun is rising and setting, the wind is blowing, the seasons are changing, the oceans are full of water. It is because Krishna is the supreme controller. So one may say, okay, well, Krishna is the ultimate in the material universe only. What about in the spiritual world? No, he's the ultimate even in the spiritual world. He's controlling even the spiritual world, not only the material world, but the spiritual world also. So Krishna is the ultimate. He's the ultimate supreme, the ultimate controller. So we may say, then what about us? Am I not the ultimate? No, I'm not the ultimate. Krishna is the ultimate. I am part and parcel of Krishna. So I'm a part and parcel of God. I'm not the controller. I'm not able to do anything here. Everything is happening by the mercy of God. So let there be a picture showing how Krishna is controlling the whole universe. That kind of picture is wanted, not these cheap pictures. So we should be careful. What kind of pictures are we seeing or we are encouraging? Is this really Radha Krishna or just anyone or anything we think is Radha Krishna? So, but rather we are encouraged to see Krishna in how he's controlling this material nature, how he's controlling the universe, how everything is emanating from him. Because if we can understand the position of Krishna, then we will be able to understand our relationship with him. Because we are in our fantasy thinking, I am God. But if we really understand, oh, these are the activities of God, then we will be able to know, oh, really, I'm not God, I can't do all these things. So we'll stop here for today. Any questions or comments?
No, it's okay.
Thank you so much for listening and enjoying. And Kunti Maharani ki jai, Shilpa
Jai.
Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur
Jai.
Bhaktavinda ki jai. Hare
Jai.
Krishna.